Paula Buscher, head women's coach at SIUE, joining us. Paula, good to see you. Crazy circumstances the last few months.
It absolutely is good to see you. Wish it was in person, but
Yeah.
we're going to be able to adjust because that's what our world has brought us to. But good to be here. Good to talk about basketball and ready to get our players out there on the court again and just getting that sense of normal again for them.
So talk about the adjustments that have gone on in Edwardsville. Everything from the mask mandate to classes on campus, and even perhaps I'm kind of curious about this too, the amount of your student athletes that are virtual or in person.
Yeah, it's been a total adjustment, not just for student athletes, but obviously for everyone in our world right now. But, most of our classes, not all, most of them are, we've got synchronous, asynchronous, which, we've got some that are online, totally online, some that are online, but you have to be there on your Zoom at a certain time every day. So that keeps the schedule. I like those classes. And then we've got some that are in person as well, but not as many as any of us are used to doing. Edwardsville's been like everywhere else. We do good for a little bit and they open up restaurants and things like that. And then we kind of go back and they close things up again. But I think, the biggest message that we've been giving, not just myself, to try to live by our players and things like that is, wear your mask, social distance, but try to, still get outside, go do things, but just do them differently than what we're used to before.
So that element of different in our world, which is difficult at all age levels, all age brackets, all maturity levels. Also, you add in the unrest in our country, lots of other things going on throughout the summer, presently, you name it. How have you kind of managed to do that and talk with your kids?
Well, we've done a lot of different things with a lot of the social injustice and unrest. We've worked with Anya Covington, who has started up. She used to be a college player, college coach, and now she's doing, it's called Human to Human, and she does a great job with it. And, we've talked about some of these issues. We've given our players kind of that brave space to share. Our athletic department, Tim Hall's done a great job with forming different committees within our athletic department, not just with coaches, but with staff and also with student athletes. So combining everyone and really working on some serious projects and talking and trying to make sure we're all just doing the right things. I do think it comes back. I think it's pretty simple sometimes. Just treat others as you'd like to be treated. And I know we lose that golden rule somewhere between kindergarten and how old we are now, but we've got to go back to some of those things. I don't think we need to be real complicated at times. Let's just be simple and treat people right. But, our athletic department's done a great job with it. We had two of our student athletes are also on the SAC committee, Zaria Whitlock and Makia Keith. And Makia really, they both did a great job, but we did a march on campus where they did all the organization. They had speakers, different student athletes spoke. We marched around campus. I mean, it was really something I was proud to be a part of it. And I'm really proud of them for speaking and having a voice.
So this basketball season, all the cliches aside, will be unlike any other.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about when your players were able to return for campus, kind of what the summer was like into the fall, and hey, it's almost time.
It's almost time. And we've hit a couple bumps in the road. We brought them back for summer 2 session. And then, some testing took a little bit longer and things. And so they were quarantined for quite a long time in the summer. And then a couple of the freshmen came in and then they had their graduations, and I wasn't their graduations were late in July. And I'm like, their senior year was hard enough. So I let them go home for graduations. Well, they didn't even come. We didn't come back and finish any of the basketball workouts, but that was okay. It was really just a matter of getting to know some of them. And then we start up school, and school's a little bit different for them. Not being with so many in-person classes that they're used to. We did have a little blip in the road. We went on we had a little 14-day quarantine for our team a while back, and that was tough. That was tough for our players, tough for our coaches. And I think, we got out of that and our first practice out of that was supposed to be, I believe they were supposed to be stretching at like 8:15 in the morning. We were starting at 8:30. I walked through the gym at 7:30 in the morning. Every kid was out there shooting. It was like Christmas morning, right? I mean, everybody was up playing. They're so excited to get back to basketball. And I love that feeling. So for maybe some of the negative things that happen, just to see your players so excited to get back and be able to play a game they love was awesome.
That's a fabulous point. Leadership, success, those are some things that have to play into your season upcoming. You struggled. Give me some names of some players we need to be paying attention to as you try and climb up in this league.
Well, I think we've got a great influx we've got six new players on our team. 4 freshmen and 2 junior college transfers, and I think they can make an impact. But it's got to start with Allie Treckler, our senior. She got injured last year and was out for several games, and then when she came back, just wasn't quite like she was, prior to her injury. And I thought that impacted us because, in a lot of ways, Allie is a little bit of the heart and soul of our team as far as just her toughness and her competitiveness, and she's relentless with her effort. I mean, that's probably a word that maybe gets overused with people sometimes, but I know opponents that played against Allie. She's just relentless. And it's not necessarily like her, her basketball skill. It's her toughness and her ability to just keep playing and get your team competitive. So I felt like that hurt us a little bit, but I think we have several players that have to step up to the plate this year. And I don't think it's any one player that needs to lead us or carry us. I think it's a lot of them together. I think our junior class is going to be important. I think our not just our returning players in our junior class, but overall the 2 newcomers that we brought in our junior class, they're going to have to step up, and we need them to produce.
Talk about this pre-conference schedule, what you've been able to put together, and then you got to play 20 games inside the conference. Gee, this should be fun.
Yeah, it was interesting. Scheduling was really interesting. Frustrating, interesting, different. What we were under the gun with, all of a sudden our whole schedule just got upended, just adding the 2 games. Then we needed to cancel 2 games. We, had a trip planned, had to cancel some of those things. But it's an adjustment. I think our pre-conference schedule is going to be as good as it can be at this point. We had a lot more things planned in it, but that's not to be, and that's okay, because I think playing the extra 2 conference games will be a plus for us this year. And I think because our conference is so solid, I really believe, and I know we're not ranked where we want to be or where we believe we'll finish, but it's going to be a pretty tough league. There is tough competition, and I guarantee you're not going to see a lot of blowout games. I think there's going to be a lot of games that are in that 5 to 7 points deciding factor.
Do you kind of consider, given the fact you haven't had a ton of preseason work, starting the season at the point where you are kind of late in the season, and that is, let's roll the ball out, let them play, and then is there less coaching at that point in time, do you anticipate, or will it be more? Kind of talk me through what you and your staff are anticipating it'll be like with such a limited kind of preseason.
Well, the limited preseason, and then we were out for that 14 days, and so were a lot of other programs in the OVC that I've talked to. So it's not abnormal or anything like that. You've had to be pretty simplistic with what you've put into this point, because I'm big about being disciplined and knowing what you're doing, and I've had to step back and go, okay, if this happens, what do we need to have? What are the bare minimums that we have to have in by this date? We believe we can be successful. Then let's go down to this date. What do we have to put in? So I think your toolbox is not full going into the first game, and it never truly is. It probably has less tools in it than normal, but we're going to have to figure out a way to get the project done with less tools.
Paula, it's been a pleasure watching your teams play. They always play with heart and enthusiasm, and I just can't wait to see if you've got kids in the gym that early in the morning. This may be a different year for you, and we're hoping the best.
It is, and I appreciate it. It's fun working with this group. They're young, they're energetic, and I wish everybody the best of luck. Let's go play games, and let's let these kids get back to some normal. And basketball's, to me, this is the best season in the world. So let's let it roll.
They might figure it out quicker than we do.
They do.
A whole lot quicker. Paula Buscher, thanks so much. Enjoyed visiting with you and hope to see you along the way.
Sounds great. Thank you.